Give it to me. Give it to me.
No!
Quiet.
Pa! Pa, stop! Stop it!
Hi, let's watch a movie of a murder mystery based on the best-selling book of the same name. When the local town's playboy is murdered under the fire tower in the marshland, a hermit girl living alone in the marshland is arrested as a suspect. Shunned and prejudiced against by most of the people in town, she is likely to be convicted of first-degree murder. A kind-hearted lawyer offers her help and asks her to plead guilty for 10 years instead of a life in prison. But the adamant marsh girl refuses.
You have a world of reasons to hate these people.
No, I never hated them. They hated me. They harassed me.
She once also had a happy family, a loving mother and caring siblings. But her mother had to abandon them, running away from the father's abuse, and then so did all her siblings, one by one. Having to live with the father, she learned to survive, with the only hope deep in her heart of seeing her mother again someday. A hope that was crushed when the father snatches the only letter from her mother in years and burns it in front of her after reading it. More drunk and violent after that, the father eventually also abandons her. However, it was not the end of the world, as she learned to find peace in the beautiful marshland. She survives by gardening and trading fresh harvest with the local gas station at the boat dock, owned by a kind couple taking pity on her. Also by befriending a kind young boy who brought her feathers and taught her how to read. They studied biology together and fell in love, swearing a lifetime together. Eventually the boy wants more and would leave her for college, but promises her to meet again on 4th of July to watch fireworks together. College boy breaks his promise, and the marsh girl realizes she likely would never see him again. Time goes by. Marsh girl grows a deeper relationship with the marshland, and also with the local town playboy, who comes to visit her from time to time and eventually develops romantic relationship with her. Consummating their love in a motel, she gives him a necklace of a shell she made herself, while the playboy shows her around the fire tower. Eventually, she runs into the playboy's fiancé in town and realizes his promise of marriage all a ruse for sex. Marsh girl ends the relationship immediately and would never meet him again. Sometime later, when the college boy finally returns, she finds a hard time forgiving him. But following his advice, she successfully publishes her work on the marshland wildlife and earns some money for herself. Now she is finally able to renovate her house. One day, when working on the drawing, Marsh girl is sneaked up by the playboy, who wouldn't let her go, and when refused, he beats her and almost rapes her. Marsh girl fights back and threatens to kill him if he doesn't leave her alone, which is witnessed by some boatmen who testified against her later in court. When she returns to find her house trashed, she had to hide in marsh and watch the playboy sneaks around her house. It reminded her of her father's abusive relationship with her mother. The playboy likely would not give up easily. However, putting all of this out of the head for now, Marsh girl accepts the offer to meet her book's publisher's editor, putting on makeup and takes the bus outside of town. When she returns from the trip, the playboy is found dead under the fire tower. All the fingerprints, including the playboy's, are not found on the tower, while the necklace from the marsh girl was gone, which the playboy was still wearing that day, according to his family.
She killed him.
Even with the editor's testimony of him having dinner with the perfectly normal acting marsh girl outside of town, the prosecutor argues that it is still possible for the girl to ride the midnight bus back to town for the murder and then out again, avoiding everyone's sight, and also that she's the only one with the motive to take the necklace from the body. While the kind-hearted lawyer defending her argues that this theory is far-fetched, with only circumstantial evidence, he brings up the written request submitted last year officially to fix the grate on the fire tower, fearing accidents might happen, like the one that killed the playboy. He begs the jury to judge the case not basing on the Marsh girl simply being different. Eventually, the trial and jury finds the Marsh girl not guilty. She returns to the marshland, reconciles with the college boy, and lived a fulfilled life with him, having successfully published more books and bore many children. Years go by, the cat dog store owner passes away, and soon, eventually, the Marsh girl dies peacefully in the boat in the marshland she loved for her whole life, after seeing flashbacks of her mother. In the last scene, college boy, now her surviving husband, when reading her poems, finds in the deep of a book the missing necklace from the body of the playboy. He silently buries it in the shore. Concluding the story of Where the Crawdads Sing, a huge box office success in 2022. Hope you find it interesting. I'll see you next time.